Hello, video gamers. I'm Shu Tanaka.
I am Chan Tanaka.
And welcome to our podcast series, Shu and Chan Unscripted. No script, no notes.
Minimal effort.
We're standing now at the beginning of January, the holiday season behind us. Months of bleak, sun-starved winter ahead.
You don't handle winters very well, do you, brother?
Oh, I stay busy. There's plenty to do indoors. I've started a redecoration project.
Yes, I notice you've created quite a welcoming open space in the liquor cabinet recently.
Why, brother, you'll find that every culture has their own way of dealing with the long winter nights. For some, it's a drink and a song. For others, it's a rousing adventure tale by the fireplace. In Greenland, where they only receive 3 to 4 hours of daylight during the winter months, the people have developed their own winter traditions to cope.
What do they do, brother?
They shoot themselves in the head about 3 weeks in and have done with it.
I think we can aim for something a bit more constructive. We did have a rather nice Christmas season this year, did we not, brother?
It was pleasant enough, I suppose. Family, friends. I'm still getting some weird results out of that garment press you gave me, though.
That may be because it's a waffle iron.
That'll do it. It's not the end of the holiday season that gets me down, though. It's the months and months of nothingness. You're coming off of New Year's and you're feeling all ready and raring to start a new diet or refinish the patio or stop commenting on Twitter feeds. And you've got all this energy and you just jump out the front door, and when you get out there, it's Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Cold, gray, lifeless, the roads patrolled by cannibal caravans.
Do we get that a lot, brother?
Well, that's more an upstate thing. The point is, you're in the mood to go do something, and then you step out, and you got 3 months of nothingness to slog through before you can actually do it. The video game industry is the exact same way. Christmas is over, the spring releases are months off, everybody's scrounging around on microtransactions.
The post-holiday time is a hard sell. People are rich in Hickory Farm's gift baskets, but poor in cash.
Which is why it's time to really squeeze the consumer. Just look at Bethesda. Fallout 76 recently released a holiday-themed costume pack that cost $20 real-world dollars. For the same price as the entirety of Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC, you can dress up as Santa Claus or put a festive deer carcass on your lawn.
You still haven't gotten over Fallout 76, have you, brother?
Look, Fallout 76 has some major problems that, if we're being honest with ourselves, are probably never going to get fixed. Or if they do get fixed, it'll be like No Man's Sky and happen 3 years out when nobody's playing it anymore. That's fine. Bad games exist. Bethesda has published bad games before. Nobody's out there composing love ballads to Elder Scrolls Online, after all.
Actually, brother, it's the internet. They probably are.
Well, fair point. But objectively, the Elder Scrolls Online isn't a great game. It's knockoff merchandise. In terms of artistic achievement, it's basically a licensed lunchbox or under ruse. But the one major saving grace of the Elder Scrolls Online was that even though it was dragging down the Elder Scrolls brand, it wasn't actually made by Bethesda Game Studios. No matter how tacky or clunky it was, no matter how much of a cash grab it was, the one thing you could say about the Elder Scrolls Online was that it wasn't keeping Bethesda Game Studios from working on their next single-player game. You could just ignore it entirely or throw out the occasional reference for a cheap laugh.
And that's no longer an option with Fallout 76?
Oh, cheap laughs are still firmly in effect, brother, but the situation is a lot darker now. This time, there is no Fallout 4 in the pipeline to take the pressure off. Thus far, Bethesda has given every indication that they fully expect you to babysit this tedious piece of crap for the next 3 years.
Or you could just not play it.
Well, no, I've already got my camp set up. I'm committed. My only recourse is to complain forever.
That's brave work you're doing, brother. Let's circle back for a moment to the subject of microtransactions.
Oh, don't get me started. $7 for a virtual box? $15 to give your imaginary suit of armor a new paint job. They make a fortune at a preschool. There's an entire world of imaginary friends there that need outfitting.
Which brings us to the next topic. What is fair microtransaction pricing?
What, do you mean when we're the ones buying or when we're the ones selling?
There are those who suggest that if the pricing is truly fair, it would apply to either side equally.
Oh, sure, I know about them. You know what those people are called? Commies. It's how he ended up with the Kim Jong dynasty.
Well, it's not like we don't already have some data on the subject, as with our recent holiday 2018 release of Roller Death Derby Utopia.
Oh yes, Roller Death Derby Utopia, video gamers, is a brand new online-only installment of our long-running and, at one point or another, award-winning semi-vehicular combat series, Roller Death Derby.
We won Best Menu Interface for Roller Death Derby 3 in 2006.
Players will battle across a number of familiar environments from throughout the RDD series, only this time they're interacting with their fellow gamers in a persistent online world.
That was the initial plan.
Yes, well, okay, what actually happened was that development was running kind of long, so what Utopia actually ended up being is a more or less unchanged port of Roller Death Derby 9, but the NPCs will move erratically and throw random emotes at you.
To really sell the effect, the NPCs also have the names of random people from your friends list hovering over their heads, and periodically they'll play extremely lo-fi audio clips of someone coughing into a microphone or having an echoey argument with their mother. The game is even designed to close out unexpectedly every 90 minutes with the message, disconnected from server.
But true to our word, the game is always online, in the sense that at any given moment you can access our online shop, which is where the microtransaction pricing comes in. It's all perfectly above board. If a player wants to spend $15 on a virtual hat, who are we to stop them from stimulating the economy?
So the idea is whatever the market will bear.
Exactly, and look at it this way. By taking money from a person willing to spend $20 on fake sunglasses for an in-game pet, we're strengthening society by reducing this individual's power to go outside and use his stunningly poor judgment in the real world. We're really just saving him from an inevitable $50,000 magic bean purchase.
So there is a line. $50,000 is an unacceptable price for virtual goods.
Well, I don't want to commit to anything. Making Space Hamster emotes is skilled work after all.
Let's move on to the next bit of news here, the Mad Box.
Oh yes, a brand new console announcement. Always a moment of excitement in gaming circles, followed by bemusement, derision, and the inevitable fog of oblivion because this one is, let's be honest, doomed to failure.
I don't think that's fair, brother. We don't know anything about it yet.
We know that the prototypes look like magazine racks with neon pinstriping. Look, the deck is utterly stacked against the new console market. In fact, technology is stacked against consoles in general as PC gaming becomes more user-friendly. There's room for 2 or 3 major consoles out there, and, newsflash, they're already sitting in your living room. When those become obsolete, we replace them with our children or get a different hobby. We don't go looking for a slightly weirder box with no software support to fill the gap.
It does happen, brother. Sony was considered a dark horse contender in the Nintendo-Sega wars.
Well, sure it happens, it just doesn't happen often. One console made it in, look at all the others that failed: the N-Gage, the Steambox, the Jaguar. We've tried to enter the console race before, 201 each fizzled out without a trace of recognition.
Well, that's not...
Okay, one of them had a horrible animatronic monkey head that went rogue and took hostages, but even the national news coverage on that didn't translate to sales. It's an impenetrable barrier.
The specifications seem ambitious at least, a powerful VR-focused console shipping with its own cross-platform development engine. It sounds like something to keep an eye on.
Yes, in the same way you keep an eye on a mole you didn't remember having last week.
You are an ever-refilling fountain of cynicism, brother. There's one last news item here. It seems that Nintendo has officially stated that Bowsette, the Princess Peach/Bowser hybrid embraced by the internet fan art community, is completely and decidedly not canon.
How disappointing for perverts everywhere.
I don't think it was such a long shot. Recent history is full of examples of developers inspired by or even fully embracing the inventions of the fan community. Look at Overwatch's Diva.
Yes, well, keep in mind that the totality of Overwatch's character development is contained in 2 paragraphs of a bio and then 30 audio clips that play after they shoot somebody. There's room there for embellishment.
Forgive me for saying so, but it's not as if either Bowser or Princess Peach have delicately constructed character arcs to tread upon. Where is the difference?
Well, in this particular case, the difference is probably that Nintendo is painfully aware that approximately 90% of the fan art featuring Bowsette was unspeakably filthy, well above the mere 75% of the internet fan art for everything else. Including the snorks.
I was not going to ask.
Also, I'm still kind of confused on the mechanics at work with the Bowsette transformation. I mean, is Bowsette a separate entity that replaces Bowser, or is Bowser still in there fully conscious wiggling around in a woman's suit?
You're asking questions that will lead you down a dark road, brother.
So to Reddit, then.
I won't be party to this. For now, I think that just about wraps up everything notable from the past week or so.
So we're done? It's time to eat?
Wait, you're not done yet. I'm here.
I can see that, Arnie. Why are you here?
Because it's time now for Arnie's Mailbag, where I deliver all the mail we've gotten since the last episode, and you answer it.
Oh, and we're obligated to do this, are we?
The fans demand it.
Fine, then hand them over.
Well, they haven't actually sent any yet.
Then why are you here?
Well, I had the mailbag.
I see.
You'll note that the segment is called Arnie's Mailbag, not the mail. I'm technically in the right here.
It is a high-quality mailbag.
Well, video gamers, I suppose if you want to make this segment more interesting in the future, you can ask us a question down below in your forum of choice, either on Patreon or YouTube, and we'll answer selected ones in later episodes.
Or we can discuss my mailbag. It's lined with velvet.
Until next time, video gamers, this is Chan and Shutanaka reminding you that the internet is a cesspool of knowledge.
Good night and Godspeed.